I'm Ed Lambert. Mike Minogue is joining me. Mike is one of three Republicans running for governor. Mike, what the hell can you do to fix this problem that Healy's got out there and everybody's doing? What are you going to do about it?
Ed, thanks for having me. The answer is yes. We need a new kind of governor. We need someone that has a blueprint to bring in accountability with the audit, affordability, lowering energy, making it easier to rent, opportunity. I was a CEO for 19 years in Massachusetts. I put thousands of jobs here, manufacturing jobs. I also bought healthcare. And I'll keep the community safe by upholding the law, respecting the taxpayers, and we will not be a sanctuary state. I'll get back to leadership with common sense and compassion.
What's the blueprint, Mike? I mean, you guys are doing a great job. You're going to tell me you got a blueprint for this, everybody. You got a battle breaking out over delegates. People are screaming at you for buying delegates for the convention. All this noise going on there, Mike, and all the real people want is someone that's going to be real and govern the state correctly. Who can we count on? You know?
Absolutely. I am not a politician. I will be a public servant. I have a military background. I have a business background. My opponents, including the governor, are more worried about themselves, but I'm more worried about you and your energy bills, and that's why I'm going to be the next governor. And I also have the most cash on hand. I've outraised everyone. Then I match, and then I donate because I'm 100% committed. But on the blueprint, I'll start with the easy one. The government is full of waste and fraud.
Yes, it
and
is.
I help support the state auditor, and we're moving now to phase 2 of that process. And we voted, 72% of the voters want that done. And that's an example that they're hiding the waste and fraud just in the legislature in their process and budget. As governor, I will do what I did when I was at a public company for 19 years. Everything will be audited every 3 months by an outside agency, and we will shake out billions of dollars in waste, in fraud, and excess. I'll take some of that money and I'll lower taxes, and I'll take some of that money and I'll give it back to towns and cities that are being bankrupt by our incompetent Healy administration.
Mike, are you afraid that the Speaker of the House and the President of the Senate are going to tell you to go to hell?
I'm not afraid of anything, but I respect everyone. And there's a lot of opportunity. If you lower the spending, which I will focus on, and I'll bring it down, and you increase revenue by bringing in businesses and retaining businesses, that will give us a surplus, and our Constitution states that the surplus goes back to taxpayers. I don't need the legislature for that. That's happened twice in the last 40 years, once in the Baker administration, once in the 80s.
Right.
Also, I am a business leader. I am a life sciences leader. I know what manufacturing is, and I am a quick study in healthcare and energy. I will recruit and bring back more businesses. No one can stop me from getting out on the road and recruiting. We should have the best energy companies here. We have a huge problem with energy because we're investing in VCRs. Our state energy is ideology. Our state has collected billions of dollars in climate taxes and paid out hundreds of millions of dollars over the last 2 decades for wind and solar. And we today get less than 6% of our energy from wind and solar, and offshore wind does not work. No one would ever invest their money in that. I built the world's smallest heart pumps that are worldwide and the global standard of care. We will reset Massachusetts, and we will make it the best place to live, to work, and to raise a family.
Right now, 2050 is on the horizon, Mike. So the Boston Globe, the Sunday Globe, had a huge article on how much money we have. The threat that the taxpayer has to come up with about $130 billion in order to meet the climate change 2050 that the legislature has put in. How the hell do we fight something like this? We didn't even know about it.
Correct. You know, when I stopped 3 years ago working at Abumed and started doing other research, we have $120 billion in debt. $120 billion. It's growing at around 4% interest, which means we have $4.8 billion in interest to pay every year. Our governor just did the biggest budget in history. It's now at 63. I'm sure she'll overspend another $3 billion on it like they did last year. Plus, she took an $8 billion bond to pay out. So according to the Mass Fiscal and the independent analysis, the net zero is actually going to cost more than $300 billion.
Yeah.
It is fantasy land. No person with any common sense would think that we can go from 6% wind and solar to 70% by 2032. It's impossible. We don't have enough land or ocean or money to do it. So we need to defund, challenge the legislature that is an unfunded liability, and I will push it off. It's similar to the way I would go to the MBTA and not penalize towns that don't do it. It's their tax dollars. They get to decide how they build and develop their towns, their infrastructure, and their schools. But in the end, we just need a leader. We don't need another politician or worse, the same one.
I'm talking to Mike Minogue, everybody. He's a GOP running for governor. Mike, some people have said to me, Ed, why don't we get Keneally, Shortsleeve, and Minogue all up on the stage and have a little bit of a debate? What do you guys think about that?
The debates will absolutely come, and I look forward to it. But what we're trying to do is get out right now. This is the delegate process, and I am doing incredibly well in the delegate process because I have the most volunteers, the most grassroots, and people want a change. They don't want someone who's been part of the establishment. With all due respect to my other opponents, they are part of the establishment. And what we need is a new kind of governor, and that's why I'm seeing so much momentum and success. And I'm incredibly confident, not just with the convention, but overall, because I've outraised them. I have more cash on hand than Governor Healy, and I have the grassroots. A lot of people think this is a blue state. It's not a blue state. It's one of the worst brands for Democrats in the nation. It's not a red state. It's one of the worst brands in the nation for Republicans. It's an unregistered or independent state. And it turns out that 60% of the voters just want less waste and fraud. They want the audits done, and they want to be able to live here or have their kids be able to afford to live here. And that's what I'm focused on right now.
The convention, the GOP convention, is the end of April, the 25th of April, Mike. You're waiting to come out there out of that convention to see if the GOP in Massachusetts is going to get behind you. Is that the whole point? I mean, I was reading also about the fact, hey, Minogue just bought himself 20 super delegates, for the convention, this type of stuff. So tell me if the convention at the end of April and you come out as the guy, all right, what happens next?
So let's mention that. So as an engineer, I can do math, unlike most politicians. 20 delegates out of 3,000 is less than 1%. I don't need 20 delegates. I'm dominating right now. I'm getting all the delegates, and they know it. That's why they're panicking. But they are the ones, the other two campaigns push for delegates. And if everyone got 20, there's no advantage. It's just a way to fund the party. I was opposed to the delegates, and that's a fact. But as it turned out, when they couldn't come up with the money, and I didn't find out later till they couldn't come up with the money. So I did it as a donation and an investment into the Republican Party. John Deaton took away a lot of the debt, and I just gave him money. But this is to help build a party. This is why I'm building a new base of Republicans, a new coalition. But I'm reaching out to independents and Democrats that voted for the audit. They want to be able to afford to live here, and they want common sense. And that's why I'm the outsider in this race, and it's also why I'm winning.
Boy, it's got to be difficult. I mean, I can see you. It's like spitting into the wind, Mike. You got Amy up there, you got Judy up there. They don't want to see somebody like Minogue necessarily in there. They want to, the old time politicians. That's what we want. So it's got to be a difficult time for you.
I'm actually having a lot of fun. I go out, I meet great people. Remember, I've been through Ranger School. I've been at West Point. I've been hazed. I've been cold and wet. I've been in combat and Desert Storm. I've been at a public company as a CEO against a lot smarter people that are hedge funds trying to short your stock or government harassing you. So I chose to serve. I'm having a great time, but I'm a public servant. And the difference between a politician and a public servant is the politicians, if you look at all the noise, they just want to blame someone or they want you to hate someone, and they put themselves first. A public servant takes accountability, works with everyone to solve problems, and puts the people and the purpose first. We have to stop seeing each other as political enemies. 90% of these problems that's happening in our state around energy or the audit or education can be solved by someone who's a leader and has compassion.
A lot of people would totally agree with you. Just a matter of, is it possible? People are still, and I like the way you put it, by the way, that we're not a blue state, we're not a red state, we're an independent state, which we are. Most of the voters out there are unenrolled. How do you get the Democrat moderate unenrolled person to say Minogue is the guy for me? How do you do that? How do you get them away from the break of the unions and Maura Healey and all the things that are? How do you do that, Mike?
Well, I'm doing it, and that's why you see I outraised her in January, and you just talk about things that are important to them, things that they deal with every day. You don't talk about ideology. Did they vote for the audit? When I'm around the state and I'm all over, I'm everywhere every day, I'm all over, every hand goes up. Did you vote for the audit? People know we have massive waste and fraud and corruption, and it's being hidden. I talk about energy. I asked them if I hold up the press release where Governor Maura or Attorney General Maura Healey told us that we would not need natural gas. Natural gas is abundant in America. We need to be the leaders in it. It's crazy that we're not doing it. And if you invest in innovation in natural gas and also nuclear energy, we can reset and build the best energy infrastructure we've ever had. But without energy, I mean, Ed, think about this. Without energy, we will have the highest bills every month, which we have now in energy, and we cannot heat our homes. We cannot run hospitals 24/7 in the winter, and we cannot produce any manufacturing. Our governor is matched to ideology. Now that everything blew up and the hydroelectric went down and she lost that, we're burning oil, right? This is someone who's going back to the definition of insanity, and now she's talking about more offshore wind in Nova Scotia, which is hundreds of miles away, which will take a decade to put in place, when all we need to do is go back to the innovation solution that if it was your money, that's what you would do. And we need to strip out all these climate taxes and our energy bills. Why should someone struggling to pay their heating bill give extra money every month to go into the government bureaucratic cloud to be paid back to rich people who buy electric cars and want solar panels on their roof? It makes no sense, and it's why I will be a new kind of governor, and I'm going to win.
Mike Minogue, thanks very much. I know you had very little time this morning. Really appreciate you coming on with us. Look forward to it again, and the other candidates too. Mike Minogue for governor. How do people find out more about you, Mike?
Ed, thanks so much. Please, if you want to join the winning team, and we've got so much momentum, and I'm so grateful for all the people that have signed on to be volunteers, please visit www.minogue4ma.com. Again, www.minogue4ma.com. And I'm the only candidate matching every donation. So whatever dollar amount, come join, and I appreciate it. Let's go serve the citizens of Massachusetts.
Mike Minogue, thanks for joining us this morning. Appreciate it. Good luck. Stay in touch.
Thanks, Ed.